G'day fellas and welcome to A Casted Games. Spawning in on the south side of the map, playing as the Abbasid Dynasty, it is Beastie Cutie. On the opposite side of the map, playing as the Holy Roman Empire. I had to check there, I thought it was the Rus for a second. Playing as the Holy Roman Empire, we've got Vortex in the color red, who is on the north side. And this, of course, is going to be game number 3 in the winners bracket final of EGC TV's Golden League. Golden League, of course, is a $125,000 tournament, an event that is going to be lasting for many, many weeks to come. So make sure you check them out. I'll leave a link in the description to where you can catch the cast of games, including the grand finals. Now, by the time that you guys see this on YouTube, the grand finals already will have happened. So these are not the grand finals. These are just the winner bracket finals. And so the way that it works is the winner of these two, or the winner of this series, is going to be going through to the grand final. He's going to be going up against, or she, or, you know, he, because they're guys. The winner of this series, he will be going up against the winner of the lower bracket final. And the lower bracket final is a bracket, or the lower bracket is a bracket that you fall into once you've lost a series. So that is correct. Both of these guys yet to lose a series, and they are both preparing intently on trying their best to keep their heads above the water in the top of the bracket. But we'll see how they work out, because Beastie's going to have a tough time ahead of him. He's down 2-0 in this series, going up against Vortex. Vortex has been looking very, very good, very strong. No real mistakes coming out from Vortex. Just impeccable play coming out from him. So we'll see what Beastie looks to do here. He looks like he is just going to be going for the standard opening here as the Abbasid Dynasty. Now, the map, of course, is Dry Arabia. Now, if we talk a little bit about this, about what we can expect to happen, so Beastie Cutie probably just going to be going wheelbarrow into fresh foodstuffs. That's a very standard. That's a very normal thing. From there, that's where that's where the question mark is. So, is he going to be looking to go into a camel horseman combination? That is something that we've seen players do. Does he go spearman archer? That is another combination. No matter what he looks to do, he will be thinking about adding in a second town center, even potentially a third town center. One of the things that we have seen these Abbasid players do is quite literally just ignore the enemy in the early game. Like, you know how like there's an enemy over here? You just ignore them, forget about them, and you just boom to your heart's content. And I've seen players go for 3 town center fast castle as the Abbasid Dynasty and just actually look to play the mid game. Let the Holy Roman Empire player get their relics. Literally, there's 2 relics here, a 3rd relic in the middle. Have them. Go for it. You can have the 4th relic as well. I'll throw that one in for free. 5th one, I'm going to be keeping that one. So, yeah, that one's not included in the deal. But I wouldn't be surprised if we see him do that. That is his options. When it comes down to what the Holy Roman Empire player wants to do, it's very clear. It's very structured about how the Holy Roman Empire wants to play this game. He wants to get to 3 relics. That is it. He wants to get to Imperial Age. He wants to get his Palace of Swabia out. He wants to get that generating those resources, or those villages rather, and then wants to play a safe late game where he's able to push out the Abbasid player. But when it comes to the late game, I'd probably have to give it over to the Abbasid. The Abbasid have just got so many more cool technologies, things like boot camp. They've got agriculture. They've got improved processing. A lot of great ways that the Abbasid dynasty are able to take control in the late game as well. Composite bows, another great technology. But the fact that they're able to make artillery, or siege rather, out in the field is really what sets them apart, in my opinion, in the late game. So we'll look to see how Beastie manages to play this one. Hasn't yet moved over onto the stone mine. Got a lot of sheep under this town center. 17 sheep. There's 24 sheep that spawn on a map, and 3 of them are underneath the enemy town center. So that's 21 sheep that you can potentially take, and Beastie Cutie's found 17 of them. There are 4 other sheep out there to be taken. You know, they've probably been taken right now by his enemy, but great job by Beastie in finding that many sheep. Now we see that the wheelbarrow is going to be coming in for his opponent. Whether he looks to be going in for some feudal age play, it's all just going to be a means to an end. He just wants to get to castle, he wants to get those relics in, and he wants to do so as quickly as he can. But now we do see that second town center looking like it's going to be eyed off here. Beastie Cutie going to be moving out towards that mining camp. We'll take a look. Fresh foodstuffs is coming in. Wheelbarrow also coming in here as well. So no real surprises there. The question is whether it's going to be 2 or 3 town centers. If it's 2 town center fast castle, I would say that Beastie Cutie loses. If it's 3 town center fast castle, I would say that it is 40-60 Beastie Cutie loses. If Beastie looks to play 1 TC, or if he looks to play 2 TC feudal and control the relics by putting outposts with emplacements on them, then I would say that Beastie's got a much higher chance of winning. In fact, that's probably the way I would play in this situation. I would literally just look to put emplacement outposts on each of these relics. I think that's the smartest way that you can do it. We actually saw, I can't remember who we saw it. I think it might have even been this matchup that we saw it. But yeah, it was Relics getting outposted up, and there was nothing that the Holy Roman Empire player could do. But we'll see how Beastie looks to play it, and it looks like it is going to be an archery, so I think this is definitely the right choice. Feudal Age play is so incredibly important in this situation. As I mentioned, I still think it's probably like 40-60% chance. Farm coming down right now from Vortex. Double farm coming down from Vortex. That's a feels bad man moment right there. You never want to be making a farm this early in the game. And I think Beastie might actually realize that. He might say, well, hold on a minute. I've actually taken 17 of those sheep. He's going to have no sheep. He's moving into farms. He's on his berries. If he's on his berries, I can just push him. And I'm just suspecting that's a Camel Archer that's in queue right now. Indeed, it is a Camel Archer going to be coming out for Beastie. So he's going to be able to apply pressure to these berry bush. It means that Vortex is going to need to take some of that wood and actually put it into an outpost. Probably right here is going to be the best spot for him to do that, then get an emplacement on that as well eventually. But at the same time, I mean, we now see a horseman that's going to be coming out. So maybe he just doesn't even look to go into that outpost. But village is a very far way away from where they should be. In fact, I think these guys are just dropping down a town center. They might be going on the deer, and indeed they are. But now we see that camel moving out. Now Vortex should be able to spot that, and I'm sure he has. Let's see what the response is, whether he's going to actually look to respond with an outpost, or whether he's just going to be happy sending the horseman to the enemy and looking to do damage that way. But he's almost up to the next stage. You can see we're at 7 minutes now. Looks like a house coming down. And look at the way that he's doing the base building. Just keeping some space in here for those extra farms. Decides to farm up on the front here instead of doing a double stacker on the back there. Down towards the base of Beastie, we do see that second town center coming through. Looks like the third town center isn't going to be on the cards at the moment. But it's definitely something he is thinking about, because you can see he's actually... Oh, he was sending villagers out to that stone. It's happening. It is happening. Okay, this is happening. Wonderful. This is how you win this matchup. And I'm going to be curious to see how Vortex can actually play against it. Once again, I'm reminded of that guy on Reddit. I can never remember his name. It's like something cryptograph or something like that. I can't remember exactly. But he's always like mocking me, like, this Drago guy's got no idea what he's talking about. Like, thank you, Beastie. Thank you for putting that outpost on that relic in that position. That's exactly what I wanted to see. But look at this. Another outpost coming up towards the north. You can see the prelate already in position. Beastie a little bit slow out of the gates on this one, if I'm being honest with you guys. Maybe the second town center was a little bit too early. So one of the things that we have seen players do is actually go for an archery range, a stable, and then look to get a bit of a horseman camel archer combo out nice and early, and then at the same time just look to take control of these relics with the outposts. But now you see the villager going to be over here managing to just evade very, very slightly that wolf, but almost certainly... Oh, look at that, the timing right there. He's going to be able to pick up that relic. He might even be able to steal the villager as well if he's looking. Is he looking? Let's have a look. No, Beastie sees it, and straight away he's like, oh, that's a bit early. That's earlier than I thought it was. Second prelate coming out into the middle of the map. This has all gone sour right now for Beastie Cutie. He had his plan in action, and he was really getting it going, but it just looks like he left it a little bit too late. These outposts haven't gotten up. He's not going to be able to get emplacements up, and now the Wololo coming down in the middle of the map. He's committing to it. He's going to manage to be able to taking it out. It could potentially put another relic down, and snipes away the other relic while Beastie Cutie wasn't looking. Look at the prelate. He's so sneaky. Picks up the wolf while he's out there as well. Beastie Cutie going to be putting an outpost on the edge of the map, which literally does nothing. A terrible investment in resources. It's looking not very good right now for Beastie Cutie, because all those relics are coming back towards the base of his enemy. And this is the point right here where you're starting to think, maybe I should have gone for 3 TC Fast Castle. Maybe I should have. And yeah, you know what? You're right. 3 TC Fast Castle, maybe it could have worked. You probably would have gotten overwhelmed by knights as well, so you probably would have died to that. But I think it was the right play, but maybe adding the second town center was just a little bit too early. And now we see archers coming out here. You can see the second wolf getting picked up here by the prelate. Prelate trying its best to keep its head above water. And now the third relic is going to be coming back, and Vortex with 3 relics in the Regnitz Cathedral before the 10-minute mark is going to be a very happy camper. I don't know, honestly, from this position, it's very difficult for the Abbasid dynasty to win this game, in my opinion, because the relics are just always going to continue ticking for the Holy Roman Empire player. Obviously, there is a window that is open for the Abbasid dynasty, but it is closing very rapidly, and it exists right now. So typically, it is a push that's going to happen. You can see he's going to Castle Age, so he's doing the right thing, and what is this wolf doing here? Where did this wolf come from? All the way from London town or something? What are you doing here, mate? Fast Castle or Castle Age is going to be coming through very shortly for Beastie Cutie, and you can see he's investing heavily in the resources here. So he's going to be looking to go into most likely men-at-arms, spearmen with the phalanx upgrade, and also crossbows behind it. That's what I'm expecting that we'll see, and obviously you can tell that by the fact that he is. I've literally just said every single unit that is in these buildings. He's probably going to be going for men-at-arms and for spearmen, and if we're lucky, we might actually see some crossbows and archers out of him. I don't know if he's going to be going for hand cannoneers though. Might be a little bit of a while before we see that, but obviously we might see a rogue camel archer come out as well. Fucking Drongo, man, this guy. What an idiot. What an absolute idiot. Oh, what are we going to do with this guy? Who knows? On the other side of the map, though, you can really see that it is coming all together now for his opponent. Vortex is adding in plenty of these barracks and now beginning to add in heavy maces as an upgrade. So going to be effectively trading out against any of those men-at-arms that are going to be looking to try and smack him down. The real difference that is going to be coming out here is the siege difference. So if there's one way that this game gets played, it is by Beastie Cutie just having a better siege control than his enemy. And now we can see a bit of walls coming up out on the edges of the map here, looking to try and control the raids a little bit. But already we see that Vortex is behind Beastie's base, and now a raid coming in underneath the town center. Villager's going to be jumping inside. They managed to do it. Spear's going to be looking to come out. A villager going to be running back to try and save its life, and you can see it's getting hit. Knight's going to be following it at the same time. The Knight's just ignoring all the units around it, just going to be absolutely celebrating the death of any villagers they spot. You can see great micro coming out here from both players, and Vortex manages to get, I think, about 2 villagers that went down. 2 villagers that do go down for him, and at the same time going to be chasing that away. But now the transition to those men-at-arms begins. You can see them all coming out on the production. There is a huge amount of units here. 6 barracks going to be coming through for him. I suspect we're going to see a market dropped down, and never mind, the market has already dropped down, and he's done just a huge amount of market trading. You can see right there with the age up coming through for his opponent. So buying a whole bunch of food, buying a little bit of wood here as well. But yeah, beautiful stuff coming out from Vortex already. He's looking incredibly strong in this game 3 and got a pretty good spawn, if I'm honest, like the relics. I mean, this one was pretty fair. This one in the middle was also pretty fair. Like it's basically sitting halfway between them. It's really only that one that was close, and you know, you're entitled to a safe one. This one here, not the safest, but Beastie did manage to stick an outpost on that one. But I mean, he's not too fussed. Even though he's got 2 outposts on his side, the best he can try and do is try and look to steal up these sacred sites and even up that count of gold coming through. Now Men-at-Arms going to be moving out. They do have that mace upgrade, but not going to be doing extra damage against the spearmen here. If we take a look at the spearmen, do they have that phalanx upgrade? If they do indeed have that phalanx upgrade. Could be very strong, but now the Knight's going to be moving in towards the wood line. Beastie Cutie immediately moves back towards that town center. Attacks happening underneath the main town center, or the secondary town center as well. Going to be losing villagers here. He manages to react in time. But now those Knights making their way through. A lot of these guys on very low health. You can see 4 health, 8 health, 2 health does go down with a bit of a cry, a bit of a yell coming out there as well. Spears can actually trade quite efficiently against the Men-at-Arms because of the Phalanx ability. The only thing is you need more than that. He just doesn't have enough out now. Villagers on the gold going to be falling back as well. Needs to find an alternate food source at this point in time. He's got berries out towards his west, berries down towards his south, but yet to really transition out to them. And a good thing he probably hasn't yet, just because the enemy raids are continuing to come in hard and fast. Men-at-Arms on the front line going to be looking to rally in underneath that town center. You can see them actually intent on sieging it down as well. So he's definitely meaning business. Villager count at the moment, Beastie up by 17 villagers. He is holding on for dear life right now. Keep in mind, this is match point. If Beastie Cutie loses this game, then he goes down into the loser bracket, and it's going to be such a hard yard for him to get back up into this winners bracket. He's going to have to play against the winner of the series that was between Marine Lord and the Viper. He's going to have to show out more of his potential strategies that he wants to keep, ideally for that last, that very last final. But already in this situation, he is struggling quite a bit, and now losing all of those Knights. Beastie manages to clean up Vortex's army, but Vortex is very, very happy back in the base here. Look at the farms that are coming down around the Ark and Chapel. Now, you guys would or may remember a video that we did not too long ago where the actual founder of EGC TV played a game for us live, and he made an Ark and Chapel, and instead of putting farms all around it like this, he put barracks all around it like that. This is the way you want to do it. This is the way you want your Ark and Chapel to look. You want there to be farms absolutely everywhere. I feel like the reason he's only gathering up this gold is so that he can delete this mining camp and actually put farms down in this space. I genuinely wouldn't be surprised if that's what we see. Now putting a house down right underneath the Ark and Chapel. Bit of a mistake right there, Mr. Vortex, my friend. But now that mass is looking to build. Beautiful composition coming out from Vortex. I love this so much. So the only real counter in this in this play at the moment is crossbows. And what do we have coming out? Horsemen. But Mangonel's actually going to be coming out as well, looking to dish out a bit of damage. This push coming out a bit too early from Beastie. I think he might have thought his enemy was going up to the Imperial Age, so look to try and push out. But now all the crossbows are going to get eaten up by the horsemen. Spears on the front line, going to be looking to trade in with the men-at-arms, and he's going to be heading back towards the base. He's got 2 Mangonels out, which is a bit of a head-scratcher, considering his enemy was just making men-at-arms, and Mangonel's not typically known for their prowess against the men-at-arms. All of the Mangos do go down. Horseman just going to be able to run rampage through it. It's not looking good for Beastie Cutie right now. He does have that villager lead, but keep in mind, his enemy has also got the 3 relics, and those do not cost any population. Keep going to be going down for a defensive, a little bit of a defensive hold here for Mr. Beastie Cutie. This is definitely going to be coming up. There are 21 villagers making that, and you can see the units now looking to actually siege that down. He's going to instead turn his spears towards the enemy villagers, trying his best to siege or take them down. No, he does have the textile upgrade here. That keep is slowly but steadily going up. He's losing a lot of villagers here. Villager count dropping down to 66. Only 17 villagers difference between these two now, and the horsemen going to be coming out and meeting these crossbows. Ideally, I just want to see spear spam coming out, but keep in mind that there's just so many men-at-arms also out here right now for his enemy. These men-at-arms are now going to be looking to turn their attention towards his second town center. There is a mosque out for Mr. Beastie Cutie, but at the same time, not going to be able to achieve too much with it. It's probably going to be going down very shortly as well. You know what you could do? You could actually just pick up that relic and do a little bit of a wallalol there. It wouldn't do too much, but you just like do the wallalol and then just put the relic back in. I think that's a total play. That's a total Chad play that could actually work. I mean, it wouldn't actually work. You wouldn't. Like, at this level, you're not going to be losing units to a wallalol, unless it's like Salami, and he wallalols like 3 times in your base, and at the same time once in his base, and it's the one in his base that he cares about. Town Center going to be going down. Vortex very happy with that. Does buy himself a lot of space. Now going to be potentially looking at going to that Imperial Age. Wouldn't be surprised to see him actually sell a little bit of food here, and indeed he does do it, and manages to click up to that Imperial Age now, or rather, goes up to that Imperial Age. Palace of Swabia coming down on the stone, as well as on the forest here. Now neutralizing the sacred site as well. Going to be locking that one. Doesn't actually put the stand ground on for it. You've got to be careful in that situation. I wouldn't be surprised if that gets pulled away. But now going to be turning his attention towards the mosque, and so much damage being done here. And Vortex's army, at this point, like, he's happy to throw it away. He's really happy to throw it away. Huge amount of farms now coming out for Vortex. Not a lot of farmers, though. But Siege Workshop going to be coming down for him. Going to be moving into bombards and looking to try and destroy the buildings of his enemies from a bit of a distance. Crossbows and spears now really coming out quite heavy for Beastie. At the same time, what kind of production have we got here for Beastie? Yeah, it's only 2 and 3. It doesn't really feel that good. Honestly, on 2 TC at this point, I feel like Beastie should be sitting on 3-3. So 3 barracks, 3 archery ranges. So yeah, it's very tough for him to be able to play in this position, obviously with so many units in his base. Didn't intend to give over the relics the way that he did, but it's an uphill battle at this point in time. And without the score being on, it's hard to know what their positions are, but I would expect that Vortex currently is ahead by an absolute mile. In fact, I can actually get the score down for you guys and do it. We're going to see a couple of horsemen running in behind here. They're going to be beelining down towards this position. So many villagers down here. A lot of damage that can be done. You can see just how quickly they move down here. But let's take a look at the score. You guys aren't going to be able to see it. I'm going to be able to see it. Let's have a look. Vortex currently 5.2k versus 3.4k on Beastie Cutie. So up by an absolute country mile right now. Nice little clean up on that position there. 64 villagers versus 75. So he's closed the villager gap. And the problem is that Beastie Cutie hasn't built up enough of a villager gap. In this position, as the Holy Roman Empire, 65 villagers is about normal. But the Abbasid dynasty, typically at this point in the game, want to be at like 110. If you're at 110, then you're absolutely fine, because you're able, by the time your enemy gets to 130, you're going to be sitting on like 130, 135 as well. So it's fine. You even it out. Like everything comes up fine for you. The only difference is that obviously your enemy's got those extra relics. That's the big difference here. So you got to try and use what you can to overcome that. And that's why even if you go into the late game, even on villager count up against the Holy Roman Empire, that you're still going to be at a potential a deficit, significant deficit, just because of those relics. The fact that they give you that free gold forever. I just realized in AoE 4, we don't have petards or petards. Because I was like thinking, you could just send in some petards and just like go and kill the Ragnitz Cathedral. But then I'm like, wait, I don't think we've got those here. No, we don't. In AoE 3, that was a total thing. You would just get petards and you would just, your enemy's Ragnitz Cathedral. Yeah, that's fine. I'll just petard it. But Vortex now going to be aware of the enemy intentions to throw up a keep here. You can see the Mangonel's actually going to be looking to fire off towards this position. We'll be entering into the cinematic mode because, ladies and gentlemen, we've got our battle on our hands as Mr. Beastie Cutie tries his best to get a push and a bit of a shove in onto this position. At the same time, Springald's going to be moving back. Not a lot of siege coming out from his enemy. Just going to be able to stick with elite men-at-arms, and they're going to be doing so much work. Culverin also coming out for him. Looks like this keep is going to be a bit doubtful on getting that up, but he manages to hold onto this position for now at least. Springalds are still up, but the main issue, the mangonels have all gone down, and now you can see the Culverin going to be teeing off towards that position. Still kiting away in this position, but at the same time, no horsemen here. So should be able to kite for days, but the main issue that he's going to have is now there's a keep coming up in response to it. So we've got double keep bonanzas coming up right now. Absolute mania when it comes to these keeps. But doing a pretty decent job of cleaning up the elite men-at-arms. I got to be honest with you guys, I didn't expect Beastie to actually clean that up so effectively. But now it looks like all of the villagers have gone down. You can see that keep was very, very doubtful. Oh my lord. Oh, Beastie Cutie. Definitely harnessing his inner doubt right there. So for anybody unfamiliar with Doubt from Age of Empires 2, he is infamous for putting up a keep and, you know, getting his villagers out there, you know, really trying as hard as he can, and then it gets to 99%, and all the villagers are dead. And the exact same thing happened there. I mean, it probably got to about 98%, maybe 97%, and yeah, I mean, we'll call it a doubt post, though, or a doubt keep, a doubt castle, whatever. You know, it's a doubt-inspired play. Let's say that much. But 2,400 gold now coming through for Beastie Cutie. Or 2,400 stone, rather, coming through for Mr. Beastie Cutie. So he's gathering up all that stone as hard and fast as he can. No acid distillation. Just going to be running with that tier 1 technology at this point in time. But now going to be moving out and looking to secure up more of this land. You can see he's actually taken 3 of the sacred sites. When it comes to the relics, he's got 2 of them sitting back here. So take that 500 gold a minute, or rather that 900 gold a minute that your enemy's got, and you've actually got a pretty decent portion of that, 500 a minute. So not too bad. I mean, it's only 400 difference between you. The main issue is that you're going to have to maintain control of these sacred sites for the rest of the game if you actually want to keep that gold income coming in. But now we see the men-at-arms going to be coming out in response, as well as a huge amount of spears. Crossbows also coming out. A decent mix. This is exactly what you would want to see in this position. But a lot of Springalds coming out here for Mr. Beastie Cutie, and I'm starting to wonder exactly why that is. What does he know that I don't know, that, you know, he thinks that Springalds are the correct choice here? You want to be utilizing your siege bonus throughout the game as the Abbasid dynasty, but when you're going up against the Holy Roman Empire, who is quite literally just making men-at-arms, it just becomes a bit curious. I guess he knows the bombards are out. Mangonels are also coming out here, so maybe Beastie had a little bit of knowledge. He knew that the Culverin was out, so maybe he just knows the way that Vortix plays it and knows that Vortix does like to go for a bit more of a siege-orientated play. Second keep now going to be coming up on the front line here. Well, technically it's the third one. The third one, let's not talk about the third one. But yeah, second keep going to be coming up, and we see that Vortix is moving down towards this position. Going to be looking to keep it up as well, keeping up with the keeps, but still hasn't actually deleted the mining camp. Okay, there you go. I honestly thought this would have been deleted, but not going to be the case. Does see this keep going up through his line of sight. I'm curious whether he looks to go for trebuchets or whether he's just going to keep adding in culverins, and it's just going to be culverins. Going to be careful not to overchop here. If he overchops, his enemy could definitely walk through those walls, but now managing to unfold upon the villagers that lay down below, and Beastie going to be very happy with this position, taking out 2 wood lines here from his enemy. He's going to have to fall back to this wood line a little bit safer, but now in the middle of the map, villagers going to be going down in this position as well. There are keeps up all over this map. Sacred Site is getting neutralized. Attacks happening absolutely everywhere, and Beastie looking to try and take control, looking to even up the score between these 2 players. But yeah, I mean, at this point in time, it's so hard for Beastie. He's definitely on the back foot. He's down 0-2 in this series. If he loses this game, then he's going to be heading home, tail between legs. Well, he's not going to be heading home. He's going to be heading down to the losers bracket, because there's always tomorrow. And if you'd like to see those games, I'll leave a link in the description to where you can find them, because they're going to be on EGC TV's channel. I want you guys to be there. I want you guys to check it out. There's going to be a lot of good games. You're going to see Beastie Cutie. You're going to see Vortix. You're going to see all the games, all the action that I didn't... Oh my lord, Jesus. Far out. You got to be so careful of those lance connects. Those things do so much damage, and that's a great unit to actually add in this situation. Beastie going to have to add archers to respond to that, but the thing is that the onus or the burden is on Beastie Cutie to actually micro, whereas for Vortix, he just A moves. He's very happy to A move. He just, you know, he splits off 3 lance connects, 5 men-at-arms. He's going to be happy with that, but for his opponent, for Beastie, he's going to be very careful. He's like, okay, my crossbows must hit the men-at-arms. My archers must hit the lance connects. Like, okay, I have to be very careful, very concise, very precise with all my movements. 9 Springalds now coming out for Mr. Beastie Cutie. Still yet to hit Imperial, sitting at 170 population at the moment. He has almost maxed out. He's sitting very close, working towards that 200 population. On the other side, Vortex going to be sitting at 181 at this point in time, but under attack from multiple angles. You can see that keep doing a great job. Is running low on that wood, and so is somewhat on a bit of a timer here. Spots out the new town center coming through for Beastie Cutie. Obviously, the first one did get taken out. Second one coming through, and look at the range coming out from those Culverin. So no roller shutter triggers for these Springles is going to mean that they have such a tough time dealing with the extra range that comes out from the Culverin. Culverin, 12 tiles of range. Springles, only 10 tiles of range. They do not yet have that roller shutter trigger upgrade. And now attention going to be turned towards this second town center. You can see Beastie only on 85 villagers at this point in time. 123 out for Vortex. It should be the other way around. Or not should be the other way around, but you should see Beastie with a much higher amount of villagers, and you just don't see it. Right now, the economy, the tech, the military for Vortex is just so much greater than Beastie Cutie. I don't think he's going to be able to win this game right now. I'm going to call it for Vortex, even though that, you know, there could be a potential miracle. Maybe we see a landmark snipe, you know. Realistically, watching the way that this is playing out, Vortex such a methodical player, and I gotta say, Vortex has very much improved recently. Vortex in the late game used to be quite a bit of a weak player, but he has come through in the late game incredibly recently. He's looking very good, very methodical. Gotta be careful, the Mangonels are on the front line. They're gonna look to be met up, and we're gonna head into a bit of a cinematic mode, I suspect, because ladies and gentlemen, we are entering into the final battle of the game, or what could be the final battle of the game. Springles moving forward. You can see them coming through, trying to reach in towards those Mangonels. Gonna be able to take out the first one. First one gets taken out. Second one out here as well. So many resources going to waste here. Crossbows on the back line continuing to kite through. Men-at-Arms looking to try and dish out as much damage as they can, but they've all been taken out by the crossbows. And now you see that the Culverins are all that remains a single bombard back there as well. And all of the units actually get cleaned up. Beastie somehow manages to hold against his enemy despite having a lesser tech on the I guess what am I looking for? He's got less tech, so he's got less stats on his units. That's what I was looking for, ladies and gentlemen. Beastie actually managing to hold, doing a great job here. His military count is still below where his enemy's at. Using the villagers to siege down the Culverin. This is a big play here. Oh, villagers, oh, villagers, oh, villagers. You gotta be careful. Look at the Lance Connects just running in and dunking on those villagers. Completely just murdering them at a hole. Ew. Yikes. That was painful to watch. Those villagers just very intent on committing to that unit there and just not having a lot of luck. So very well played by the Lens Connects, it seems. But now Beastie going to actually be able to push out from his position. He's still down on villager count. He's down 50 villagers at the moment. Keep in mind 3 relics in the base or in the bank as well for our Holy Roman Empire player. And now still got those 2 sacred sites that are captured up. But another keep going to be coming down for Beastie Cutie. A very curious decision, though. It is quite literally in the base, you know, between a house, between a mining camp, and a university. There is an enemy keep just hanging out, but it doesn't do anything. It doesn't achieve anything. If this keep was like... See, it's so hard. Look at this. Oh my god, this was happening the whole time while I was asleep. Beastie Cutie was awake, and he was god tier. Look at this. Beastie Cutie came in to drop down a keep on the wood line. This is exactly what I was thinking. I'm like, no, he shouldn't be keeping over here. He should be keeping up here. This is going to be such a more important keep, a better keep. Yeah, obviously did try and get those down. Did not have a lot of luck. I mean, he got the first one down. Second one did obviously get denied out. So very well played there from Vortex to be able to deny that an important keep. But great play from Vortex. It's starting to look more and more like Age of Empires 2. When we watch these games in Age of Empires 2, the meta has developed to the point where you've got keeps in enemy bases that are just defending farms, defending wood lines, defending everything. They stop all the raids from coming in, just like this. And, you know, they obviously stop any kind of keep drop from, or castle drop from the enemy as well. And so that's exactly what we see now beginning to develop in Age of Empires 4 as well. So Beastie Cutie definitely going to be under a bit of a struggle here. You can see Lance Connect in the middle of the map, going to be looking to deny this sacred site, going to be chasing away the Imam. Beastie sitting on 120 or 114 population at the moment. Of that, there's only 33 military. Double the military for his opponent. When it comes to villager count, his opponent is up by 53 villagers. That ain't pretty. That is not pretty. Beastie going to be looking for that Imperial Age, though. And once he's up there, he's going to have access to new technologies. He's going to have access to new units. The question is whether he's going to be able to hold on, whether Vortex is going to be looking to push down upon him and look to strangle him with his significant or superior technology, his superior numbers, and his superior economy. Look at the economy now for Vortex. He is beginning to add even more farms in. Ladies and gentlemen, what a farmer, what a boomer right now coming through. Vortex looking incredibly strong. More infrastructure should get added in here as well. Look at these, just casually throwing in spear after spear. And how many farms have we actually added in at this point? 42 farms coming through. And now a push beginning to happen on the front. we see that Beastie Cutie going to be under significant pressure as these bombards continue to move forward with their culverin in tow. Neutralizing on the sacred site over towards the east of the map as well. He's already taken 2 of them. He's now looking to take control of the 3rd one. And now going to be working on that House of Wisdom. This is one of the core landmarks, or one of the landmarks, full stop, for our Abbasid player. If this goes down, there's only going to be 1 remaining landmark, and that is the capital town center for our Abbasid player. So this will be it. This is do or die right now for Beastie Cutie. I can feel a battle going to begin coming in. We're going to head into that cinematic mode because this could be it, ladies and gentlemen. We are witnessing it in all of its glory. This is game number 3 between Vortex and Beastie Cutie. Beastie Cutie needs to hold on. He's down 2-0, and B just taps out. He says, you know what? You got too much stuff. Good game, well played. I'm out of here, boys. And he drops down into the lower brackets. Fellas, if you're watching this on YouTube, I hope you have thoroughly enjoyed this series. Big shout-outs to EGC TV. Make sure you guys go check them out on YouTube, on Twitch, every weekend, 15 GMT. Be there or be square.